For the assignment 3, question number 2, it is about weighted average cost of capital. And here is the area giving you all the information about the debt, common stock, and preferred stock. As you can see from the table, the firm is financed through these 3 types of capital. And here are their book values and also the quantity of their issuance. So for question A, you are going to set up a spreadsheet, a worksheet, preferably using Excel, and you're gonna put all the data in and do the calculations. So I have already copy pasted the table into the Excel spreadsheet, and then I will work from here. And the first thing you need to calculate, which is the easiest, is a book value weight for each source of capital. And book value weights are measured in percentage, not in dollar figures, whereas all the numbers here are in dollars. So what I'm going to do is create a column called a book value weight. And then to calculate that percentage, the first thing to do is to get the total. I'm going to take the summation of all the book values. So that's 7.55 million. For book value weight, I'm going to use each of the book value divided by the total book value, and I will log the denominator because I'm going to drag it down and use the same denominator across all the cells. All right, take the percentage, not in dollar figure. And for all this, I can apply the same format. Okay, so here is the total. All right, and I can also add the border lines in there to make it look more professional. Okay, so this part is done. As you can see, if you take the total of all these weights, then it is 100%. The next one is to calculate the market value weights for each source of a capital. This time we're looking at a different system. We have a book value, we also have market value as we learned in previous chapters. So for the market value, I need to create a separate column just to calculate the market value for each source of capital. And here I have some of the information I need, which is a quantity, but I also need to calculate, I also need to find their price. So I'm going to change the name to price and move the market value to the next column. So the price for common stock, you need to look for it in the area of information. If I read this, the first sentence is about debt, second is about bonds frequency, and then preferred stock. Well, right here, for debt, it's currently selling for $945. So that is the number I want. So for debt, the current price is $945. And then I keep looking for the price of all the other 2 securities. And for preferred stock, the current value is at $125 per share. Okay, it's $125 per share. And then for common stock, which can be bought at 41.50, and this is our price, 41.50. All right, and I'm going to use the dollar format. Okay, and for the market value, it definitely is going to be for the market value, it is going to be the summation, it's going to be the product of the quantity and the price. All right, and then I can just double click or drag it down. And then I need to calculate the total of the market value for the entire company. Okay, so this is a total market value. And then I can calculate the market value weight. which is each of the market value divided by the total, and I'm going to log the total by hitting hotkey F4 or just manually typing the $ in front of the column letter and the row number. All right, drag it down, make them percentage, show some decimals. Alrighty, and then I will use the borders here. So this is the answers to the first two questions. Actually, for the first three questions, but I still need to add more things. Well, in question D, I need to calculate the component cost of capital. So I need to calculate cost of common stock, cost of preferred stock, and cost of debt based on the information. So right here, you have a debt that is for 15 years and issued 5 years ago, and coupon rate is 9%. The price is 945, and the frequency is 2. So the cost of a debt, okay, just say cost of a capital here. The cost of a debt here is what I'm solving for first. So I need to put in the debt information. I have the frequency equals to 2. That's a semi-annual bond. And I also have the coupon rate. It is 9%. I also have to find the number of periods or years to maturity. The bond is a 15 years bond. However, it was issued 5 years ago, which means the bond still have 10 years more to go. So you are going to use the total duration of the bond minus 5 to get the time to maturity, which is 10 years. And the face value of the bond is always $1,000. Okay, and you can calculate the cost of debt, but you also need to know what the tax rate is, because with the Wacc formula, we are going to treat the cost of debt differently than others, because the debt payment is before tax and everything has to be on the same page. Everything has to be after tax. I also need to find what the tax rate is. At the end of the paragraph, it says the tax rate is 35%. Alrighty, and the price I have already inserted here, $945. Okay, to solve for the cost of a debt, it is just like solving for the yield to maturity. You are going to use the rate function. Inside the rate function, the first thing you need to put is a number of periods, not number of years. Because I have semi-annual bonds, for 10 years, I have 20 semi-annual periods. As you can see, I click these two cells to get a 26-month period. And then for the payment, I'm going to use the face value multiplied by the coupon rate, and then divided by the frequency to get my periodical coupon. That's right, everything in this formula is on a periodical basis. And then I will need to find the present value, which is the price of the bond. And the thing is, you should know when you receive the coupons, receive the face value, that means today you need to pay money to buy the bond. So you have to put a negative sign to indicate the price is a cash outflow for the investors. And then for the future value, it is $1,000. And you can basically stop here to close the parentheses. You don't have to put the payment method, because by default, we assume it is 0. The payment is made at the end of the period. And also, you don't need to consider this factor guess. And if you hit enter, then what you get is a semi-annual rate. That's right. When you have a number of periods and the periodical payment, then the rate output would be a semi-annual rate or periodical rate. Then you need to multiply the whole thing by the frequency. You double it to annualize the rate to get the annual rate, and this is roughly 10%. Okay, and we're not done yet because it is the after-tax cost of capital we are looking at. So I still need to use 1 minus the tax rate to multiply the cost of debt. So this is my number. And for the preferred stock, the paragraph says it pays $11 dividend annually, and the price is here. So for the preferred stock, it is pretty easy. You just use the cash flow divided by the price, which is $125, and there's no flotation cost considered. So just hit enter. Then this is the cost of a preferred. Nice and easy. And the paragraph also says, and before I move to the common stock, I just want to say, so for the preferred stock, the frequency does not matter. Okay, the frequency could be 4 if it is quarterly, it could be 2 if it is semi-annually, but we don't need to consider that, because for preferred stock, if you make the cash flow quarterly cash flow, you have to divide 11 by 4, and then what you get is a quarterly rate. Then you have to multiply 4 by the entire thing. So divided by 4, multiplied by 4 cancel each other, so we don't have to consider the number 4 here. The same for 12 or for 2, so frequency does not matter. All right, and then we move down to common stock. So what it tells you here is the price of the common stock and the growth rate of common stock, and it's expected to pay a dividend next year. So what you have here is dividend 1. So dividend 1 equals to $1.25, and the growth rate of the dividend is 7%. Alrighty, and you have the information you need. Remember, the formula we get for the price 0 is dividend 1 over R minus G. Therefore, R equals to dividend 1 divided by the current price plus G. Okay, be careful you use the right price. You don't want to use a debt price. You use the common stock price. Then you add the percentage, and the formula will be in your textbook or the PowerPoint. All right, so this is the cost of capital for the common stock. All right, and to get the Wacc, this is what we're looking for at the final end. At the last of the question, it asks you to solve for the Wacc using both market value weights and book value weights. So you are going to have a two system. One is book value and another is market value. And it is just the sum of product function. It is the summation of 3 products. Let's do the book value first. So you use a book value weights of a common multiplied by the cost of common plus the preferred weight times the preferred cost plus the debt weight times the debt cost. All right, you can do this. Well, it's messy here, but I just change it to percentage format. Now it looks presentable. So this is my weighted average cost of capital at book value. And I can also use the sum of product function, which I just need to select the vector of a weight multiplied by the vector of a cost of capital. And since this is not about individual cells, to finish the calculation, I need to hit Control-Shift-Enter. All right, Control-Shift-Enter. If you just hit Enter, it just would not do. All right, if you just hit Enter, this is what you get. So you need to finish it by Control-Shift-Enter. All right, to get the market value Whcc, you are going to use the sum of product function again. Use the market value weight multiplied by the cost of capital vector. Control-Shift-Enter. All right, so this would be your answer. Okay, so this is a good practice for your Wacc chapter, but still it has not covered flotation cost. So what about if I say for preferred stock, flotation cost equals to 2%, and for the common stock, flotation cost equals to 5%, then what would you do? If flotation cost is ever mentioned, don't worry. You just need to replace the current price instead of the given full price multiplied by 1 minus the flotation rate. So for the preferred stock as example, the firm is only getting 98% residual of the price for their own capital, and the investment banks or the middleman get the 2%. And then you just hit Enter, everything will be, for the common stock, I'm using the price multiplied by 1 minus the flotation cost. All right, so the firm is only getting 95% of the full price of $91.5 per share. Okay, maybe I need to show a little decimal here. All right, so this is how we handle flotation cost in your exam. Although it's not mentioned in your homework, but it did mention in the lecture videos, and I hope you guys understand that. So let me now recoup the setting, making all the flotation cost to 0, and then the original answer would show up.